What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning on the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Uranus. His name is ArmyCore. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is TheMista. This game was played in 2014. The history of TheMista unravels, being one of the strongest players in Age of Empires 4 on release. Obviously, incredibly quick at understanding the strongest stuff in Age of Empires 4, and therefore being able to place second at the Genesis. This is way back when. And this is still technically in the dark ages of Age of Mythology. This was before any patch was released. Just before 2014 was the year. We are actually seeing the villagers getting pulled back for some reason. I'm not sure why that was the case there, but he did do it. And so I say this game was kind of still in the dark ages back in 2014, even though there was a lot of stuff kind of worked out. But Mista was working out stuff on the daily. So what kind of happened through the history of Age of Mythology is very, very interesting. And of the fact that if you go back and you watch and you go back into the history and you look at 2003 when the game was launched, a lot of the top players would turn their recorded games off. So, or not necessarily turn them off, but they just wouldn't share them. So the meta development was incredibly slow. So when you compare an RTS game back then, like 2002, 2003, to an RTS game today, like Age of Empires 4, what we actually saw, and I think we're still seeing it to some degree, is you see the meta develop by the week instead of by the year or by the era even. So Age of Empires 4, the first era that came through lasted a week, and that was people just having no idea what to do and just kind of the fastest players were winning. And then as the eras developed, you had I want to say the Greek warfare era, where it's there was some strategy going on, but nobody really knew how to defend, and everything's a little bit crazy. And then you get into the new era, which is the hyper modern era, where everyone's shooting laser beams and everyone's killing everyone. And this era here is what I would kind of describe as the late Greek, the late medieval era of meta development, and Mista was at the forefront of pushing this in towards the hyper late game era, the hyper late meta development. In that he was doing things like calculating how many villages to put onto what resource for how much. How many villages on each resource for what units you want to be building, how to make sure that he's getting to his power spikes as efficiently as possible, and all of that other stuff. And he was the first one to really do that, as opposed to everyone else. ArmyCore, on the other hand, he was the pioneer of Uranus, as we are continuing into this game. The pioneer of Uranus. And he kind of did to Uranus what Mista did to Zeus, what Maggar did to Set. And that's super exciting to see all these guys kind of going at it in that era, being so smart and coming up with all of these strategies that everyone kind of uses today. But we do have a Zeus Uranus mirror on no patch. So both of these gods are at their full broken strength with 5-second shockwave stun. Hyperion is actually a little bit worse here, but obviously you could just go through Thea. It's still very, very strong. We are seeing the early Jason coming out from Mista. I'm telling you, this guy was ahead of his time. Early Jason, 9 damage onto the ArmyCore villagers. The ArmyCore villagers will have to retreat home. He does have at home these deer. And that basically means that he's just going to move back onto them and be completely fine. We will be seeing the counter barracks coming down. Athena coming through for Mista. Very, very interesting choice here to go Athena. I mean, Athena is not a bad play, but we are seeing him go out to this town center, which is definitely a very greedy town center in that there's nothing on it. He does have a back gold mine, so if he can hold this town center, is very, very strong. We're seeing the Prometheans making their way forward. And we'll see how this is all going to go as Mista is swinging up to the top side of the map with those villagers. Going to be jumping onto those deer. Both of these players, again, doing stuff that we are seeing nowadays. They came forward and they eat that forward hunt and then move back to the deer. ArmyCore saving his deer as well as the Prometheans come in here. So not going to be able to do all too much. There is a Jason here with the Tail of Cerberus. Not really going to have to use that for anything here. And I believe, just as another final point about this game, I believe this was a tournament final. I think it was a PK tournament final. So a lot on the line. Both players going very, very strong here. Very, very happy to play as good as they possibly can. Stable coming up now for Mista. And we'll see if he does go for the Hoplite Hippocon build that was popularized at some point. And he isn't. So the Hoplite Hippocon build was something so foreign to Greek players that like you just never saw it and no one understood it. He's like, why? You don't have enough food. You can't build it. And it's like, well, you do. Now seeing this Minotaur King snipe down there. Nice play from ArmyCore to get that one killed. Nice micro over here from ArmyCore as well. He was known for having some of the best micro of his era between like Magyar, ArmyCore, Mista. He's very, very strong micro. But he also, I mean, you also have the movement speed buff of Aranos. So a lot of the times it looks like you've got good micro, but that's about it. It's just not really a fair fight. But Mista still trying to retreat, trying to defend. Starting to throw up some farms. Archery range still not producing anything out of that one just yet. As ArmyCore going to try and get in here and take down this watchtower, but it looks like the Odysseus and the Jason going to be enough here. Odysseus is so obnoxiously strong. As he's flinging those arrows in onto those Murmillos, slowly taking them down. We see a cheeky wall coming over here, but that's not going to be quite enough. These Terma can move in and start shooting at these villages. There is this very safe wood line, though, for Mista as the game continues. But ArmyCore trying to out-micro this Jason, doing a very nice job, but he does end up losing a Terma for it. But Mista also loses a tower in on this position as well as a Jason. So nice play there for ArmyCore. Good win. He's going to have to pull back. The question is, when will ArmyCore be getting his second town center? So as the Aranos kind of Greek meta developed, we did see a response to the fast 2 town center of Greek players from the Aranos was to simply just get 3 town centers. If you're going to be greedy, I'm going to be greedier. And what would happen is you would build something to the effect of about 6 units, and that's 3 Murmillo, 3 Terma in order to defend against the Jason and the Odysseus, and you'd be able to get your forward town center, which is obviously very, very far forward, and then get your back town center after that. And we'll see if that's what's going to happen, or if ArmyCore is going to have something different here in this game. And then more walls coming up here as Mista is simply just beautifully placing his buildings here, preventing ArmyCore from really getting any sort of advantage here. The pigs are about to dry up, quite literally, and the food situation is going to be quite dire here for Mista. Is he still building archers? No, he still just needs to get more of those farms down. Super difficult situation. Still no plow, no husbandry. Very, very big mistake there from Mista. All of the numbers of the upgrades weren't really done until, I don't know, like fairly recently, to be honest. As the army of ArmyCore simply just gonna may as well take the granary down, as he is going to be throwing up this town center. He's getting the back one, as we see the Catoscopos coming in here being a little bit annoying. The Prometheus coming over here going to be able to take down this Catoscopos. Mista probably not going to be too upset with losing that one, but 1 HP remaining. And we'll be able to get away from there. As we see the Terma coming through here. The Terma do have 30% pierce armor, so you can actually move in and harass these villagers if you so choose. And that's a lot of, you can cause a lot of idle time by doing that. But ArmyCore throwing away some more units as Mista is still just defending very, very nicely here. We do see a stray Hippocon raid coming in here. Pushing ArmyCore back. Let's actually just check out how ArmyCore's base here. He's got a lot of gold in the bank. He's taking all those villages off of gold. See the Terma going after these villages over here. Before getting pushed back, and he loses another Terma. Some more Prometheans getting built. Mista, on the other hand, 83 of 100 population with a lot of food in the bank. Moving those villages back. He can come over here onto this gold mine. Going to be completely fine here. So we see another wall getting thrown. The OG chemo wall. Ah! The OG chemo wall indeed. But the Terma say, I'm not going to let you get this gold mine. He's coming straight after these villagers, trying to force a fight. There is still shockwave to be used here. And get a couple of villager picks, but is it going to be worth it? He's going to lose so many Terma here. If I'm Mista, I don't really retreat those villagers. I just turn around and shank, force the shockwave. Is there a shockwave available? There is. As the Toxoid is getting pushed back, the Terma trying to retreat away, staying outside of that tower there. As the Hippocon are coming in, more units coming through for ArmyCore. He's going to try and attack elsewhere. As the Terma trying to fight over on this location. We see the Terma swinging around onto those Toxoides. Toxoides pulling back, does end up losing one. Nice play from ArmyCore as he's able to do that. And we are seeing Mista attempt to wall ArmyCore in here. He's not going to allow ArmyCore to just escape out of this position. So ArmyCore's got to work out a way out of this location. He can go after these villagers for a little bit here. He's not going to be able to get in just yet. We see the Prometheans coming in. They can tank for days because they have 25 PS armor, but 227 HP. As the Terma coming in onto these villages, it looks like ArmyCore is just going to say, I'm going to have to sack this army here. The Promethean's going to try and take down this wall. The Terma getting some big damage done. Nice hold here from Mista as he's now going to be able to move on to this gold mine here. Let's see where Mista's going now. Honestly, Mista should be thinking about heading to the Heroic Age, heading to the Mythic Age off of these two town centers to get Hephaestus in order to deal with the Tartarian Gate, with the Colossus. Or you can go Hera and then make sure you throw down a fortress and get out the Heliopolis to take down said Tartarian Gate as well. And also the Heliopolis is very good in your army. We will finally see the final units here taken down as Mista in a beautiful position. Great defense from Mista in this game so far. The problem is still no advance time. Mista still not advanced. 12 minutes into the game. And how are the economic upgrades looking? He has himself plow. He has himself husbandry. No pickaxe. Pickaxe is really, really good for Greek. So if you're new to this game or even experienced in this game, it's well worth it to realize which upgrades you should be getting. The upgrades for Greek you should be getting are pickaxe and bowsaw. Little things to know. Pickaxe and bowsaw. We're seeing a storehouse going up here, getting raided down as the Terma walk in. And then if you move into the next civ, if you go to Egyptian, the upgrades you should be getting are hand axe and shaft mine. The opposite. And then for I think I could be wrong. I think that Norse is bowsaw and pickaxe as well. But generally speaking, you don't even get hand axe. But that's what it is. Anyways, onwards and upwards. We are seeing that heroic age coming through now for Mista. He's going through Apollo. He's joining up some military academies now as a settlement is coming down for ArmyCore. Is he going to the next age? It doesn't look like he is just yet. So raid's still coming in here, but the village is just going to make the move onto the pine trees. Terma's still trying to get those raids in here. Mista just happily just chilling. He's got the back gold mine. He knows. He understands the position here. He is on farms. He's got a whole bunch of villages on favor. As it looks like Mista's getting ready to get Forge of Olympus here. That's the only thing that can really make sense for Mista in this situation. He's got 7 villages on favor. Gets himself the Manticore. We see the Hippocon spotting the town center coming up. Where's the market? There's the market. We see fortified town centers coming through for Mista. He's like, okay, fair enough. Fortified town centers first and then age up. Completely fine. And ArmyCore, on the other hand, going through Thea. He's not that far behind. But if you aren't the first one to the heroic age, as Uranus, it's time to start thinking about not going Hecate. Instead, going for Helios. And I say that because the Tartarian Gate just doesn't do all too much against a Mythic Age Greek player, because they've got access to the Heliopolis, they've got access to the Mythic Age hero to clean up all of the Tartarian spawns. And are we seeing that advance time coming through? Ooh, Hera. Hera's interesting here. You've got Underworld. Underworld Lightning Storm has and always will be an incredibly strong combo, because the Underworld forces your opponent to fight somewhere where they're kind of undefended. And then on top of that, the Lightning Storm kills all the units. So it can be very, very strong here. So let's see if that's what Mista's going to do. And he's also looking like he's going straight in to Myrmidon behind this as well, as ArmyCore is doing the classic 4-town center maneuver here, as well as throwing down a Sky Passage on this position. We'll see how that's going to go. We see a marker coming down for ArmyCore, a little bit short on gold here, as he was pushed off. He does have Shaft Mine, so he'll get that pretty quickly. There is a Stymphalian Bird over here ready to help out, as some units coming through for ArmyCore. He's got a whole bunch of Prometheans on this position here. There's the market up for ArmyCore, but a little bit too slow. And still not enough resources to advance anyways, because he's getting this town center up. Sky Passages are up as well. He's chucking them down onto separate gold mines so he can escape if he needs to. And there, Mista sees the town center situation that he's faced with. Is he getting himself? He is getting himself heavy infantry as well. He's going to start pushing forward. He's got 3 Manticore here. Manticore is strong. Manticore is strong, but they do get taken down very easily by myth units of the Iran, especially those Stymphalian birds. We still haven't seen a Hesprid tree get thrown down for ArmyCore either. Game's still very, very close, still in the balance, but obviously that Lightning Storm is going to be absolutely terrifying to deal with. As it does pop, the unit's moving forward. He's Hippocon still looking for something to do. And Mista's going to feel very, very comfortable just walking wherever he wants. And Mista actually going straight for Secrets of the Titans behind this as well, which I absolutely love, giving ArmyCore a little taste of his own medicine here as the Terma walk in on this position here. Lightning Storm getting thrown down. The army of ArmyCore retreating away, but not before losing a whole butt ton of units here. A couple of them do manage to escape onto this position. But my golly gosh, that population loss there from ArmyCore was absolutely huge. It's at 101 of 180 population here. And Mista is almost ready. And he's also spamming out Myrmidon, and then he's going to be able to Underworld somewhere? No, Hesprid's tree getting thrown down on this town center here as well. So Bellerophon coming in, and this is the super strong Bellerophon. This is 5-second Bellerophon. He's like, you want a little taste of the Bellerophon? I can give you 5 seconds. That's all you get. That's all I need. Just going to start looking for some raids. There's the Titan Gate coming down here as well. But what ArmyCore could do here, if he had any resources whatsoever, is he could go through Helios and take this down. But he doesn't have the resources. A huge shockwave there for Mista, and he is actually going to be using himself that restoration here to counter that one. It's the Bellerophon getting up to full HP very, very quickly. This is pre-nerf restoration, so it helps out a ton. But honestly here, I actually don't think that Mista should care so much about losing this army, because what he wants is a whole bunch of these heavy Myrmidon, champion Myrmidon. Does he have the armory upgrades? Looks like he hasn't researched it just yet. He's getting himself the Monstrous Rage as well. Very, very smart there. That gives a big bonus for that Titan in order to win a Titan fight or something of that variety. Meanwhile, over here, we see the Manticore getting taken down by the Prometheans. Beautiful play from ArmyCore to survive all of that. He's back alive and well, but he is going to be going up against these Myrmidon. And if Mista feels so inclined, send that Bellerophon forward and take down a back town center or something. You can also just hold off on that Underworld in order to try and take down the enemy Titan Gate, if that's what ArmyCore is going to potentially go for as well. There's just so many units here for... he's got so many units. I think he's overpopulated on military as well. I don't see a market just yet. When you got 4 town centers as Atlantean, it's always worth it to just like start your trader out, because you're always going to get up to too many units, and if you fight and lose them, you're in a really bad position. But ArmyCore just sitting here and waiting for the time being. Still not able to advance to the next age. Still producing some more of those civilian units. What's he got here? 172 of 180 population. Rebuilding those villages back up. See this Bellerophon getting pushed back as well. Mista might be thinking about getting his temple upgrade as well, which he is getting Oracle and Temple of Healing. Beautiful upgrade there for Mista to heal that Bellerophon back up. I love that he's using this back in 2014. My golly gosh. More units falling here. So we do have a pretty big Arcus Murmillo army. Let's see the Bellerophon moving in onto this position, taking down one of those Promethean. Nice play there from the Bellerophon. Just going to continue to just move in and out. I actually really love how Mista controls this Bellerophon. Don't have to control it too much. You just click back, and then when he stops, he's going to immediately jump in. Right? Just find somewhere else to come in, jump in, take down another unit, and there is Mista's Titan. 88 hack damage, 88 crush damage, up from 70. If you look at the damage, this gives plus 17.5. Plus 17.5. It's insane on both of those statistics there. Is ArmyCore going to the next age? No. Not able to get there. He's got the gold actually. He could have bought his way to the next age, but not happening. And we'll see. Can he defend this or not? ArmyCore's got 100 favor in the bank, so he can make a lot of heroes here if he so chooses. The Titan is immediately going to go after this town center here. So we see the army of Mista moving around the side with the Murmillo. Looking for someone to take down here. And if ArmyCore had some siege out or some destroyers here, you could go after the main base and just like kind of ignore the Titan a little bit. Allow the Titan to kill off everything. Just build some sky passages in like weird corners of the map. We will be seeing the town center getting taken down very, very quickly here. Even though ArmyCore does have himself masons, doesn't have himself architects or anything else over here. We see these units getting cleaned up fairly easily by Mista. As those Myrmidon are champion now, as he's starting to get those armory upgrades. It looks like he still hasn't gotten himself Forge of Olympus here, which is a bit surprising because he went Hera. And obviously getting Forge of Olympus is something you can do when you go Hera. I am a dilly-dally, aren't I? Very silly. Now Mr. Titan's going to leave here and you just rebuild the town center. You just rebuild the town center. Bellerophon raids. Just walk in, take down a villager, walk away, feel good about yourself. Murmillo hitting off this gold mine as well as Mr. is finding all the advantages here. We are seeing a couple of military academies getting thrown up on this location here. ArmyCore still not advancing to the heroic age. If he puts up sky passages kind of around his town centers as well, he can just bring his hero Arcus onto these locations very easily as well. But he's going to have to chase the Titan around, and the Titan, while it's slow and slower than the Arcus, it's still just have to chase it. And there goes the town center there. To have a whole bunch of these hero Arcus, so 18 hero Arcus. Gonna get a lot of damage done onto the Titan, but it takes a long time to take him down. He's got 7,000 HP. Now you see the Murmillo coming over here, going to take down these citizens. The villagers move in and grab this town center, and then Mista is going to be in a fantastic position. We see the Bellerophon retreating back, going to try and get in, probably back to the temple at this point with 66 HP. And Mista moving over here to take down this town center as well. And you will probably see him go after these farms as well. You can see they fall anyways. Boom, dead farms. Very, very smart. Because they are a lot of wood that was taken down there as well. Now we see an attempted raid here from ArmyCore trying to prevent this town center from going up. ArmyCore realizes how important it is to prevent Mista from getting 3 town centers as the Dryads coming in onto this position as well. But Bellerophon will come in, and if Bellerophon can simply just jump in and stay alive at 66 HP, these Dryads are going to be very, very useless. You just watch him jump in, picks off one unit, and take down another one. We see the Arcus attempting to move forward and take down the Bellerophon here as he's trying to surround this, but jumping in, taking down another Dryad. Bellerophon's still alive, but is about to be taken down. Mista not paying attention. Bellerophon falls. Just barely, actually. Almost alive at 1 HP there. There's a fortress coming down, and ArmyCore is going to drop down to down to 0 town centers right now because he's trying to rebuild this one. But this is nice play here from Mista. He's also getting himself a Heliopolis into this location here. And Mista's 160 population now against the army of Hero Arcus. Hero Arcus are strong. They're a little bit stronger than the unupgraded, well, the heavy Arcus, I guess. By just a very small amount, though. Kind of not worth it. ArmyCore gets his town center back, and the Mr. Titan just says, "Hello, I'm going to come kill this. I'm going to come kill this. It's going to be fine." And now Mista can just be moving and grab this town center for himself. He's also got the Hesperids tree, so we're going to make some Dryads for himself as well. Does he have the upgrade here? He does have the upgrade. What's it called? Olympic Parentage, giving those extra HP. 620 HP on Heracles. What a beast. What a beast! So the town center here coming back up, but that's going to get taken down very quickly as well. I'm really not seeing any avenue now for ArmyCore. 0 town centers remaining. Thank you so much for the Prime Apocalyptic 3. Appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. The barracks does go down, and that's life. That's life. Anyways. And at this point, you can just, the Titan can literally just come in and just whack these Arcus. You can micro this a little bit easier by just hitting Alt-X. I'm going to attempt a micro here from ArmyCore, but he's going to lose the sky patches nonetheless. And in that moment, ArmyCore does decide to tap out. GG, Mista displaying a very, very nice defensive Zeus play here. Just holding on and racing Titan, actually. It's very, very strong. Thanks so much for the 2 months. Grid Runner 144. But honestly here, the problem was definitely a strategy problem from ArmyCore. And this is something that possibly Mista might have been one of the few first players to really attempt 2 town centers against Atlantean. Everyone's like, how do you go 2 town centers against Atlantean? He's just going to overrun you. And the answer is, well, you just get really good at building positioning and defending. And then you go, oh, well, what do I have to do as Atlantean then? And the answer has always been, and will forever be, get 3 town centers, race to the Mythic Age, and then win with a Tartarian Gate push of some variety, either with a Titan coming up to boot, or big like Fire Siphon push or Destroyer push. All of those options exist, and you can pick whichever one you want. But ArmyCore didn't do that. Mista gets an easy win here for the PK Tournament Finals 2014. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.